Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. This is going to be my Arrow episode 4 video. Amazing Quentin episode. Tour de force Paul Blackthorne. Stephen Amell was saying after the episode that sometimes it's more fun for the actors to do these quiet episodes. They call them quiet because they're not doing like big Justice League things. Like it's not a big crossover episode. They're mostly doing character work. Quentin in particular. But just careful for spoilers. If you haven't seen the episode yet, I'll do my top 5 WTF, explain Rutina Wesley's character because she is a character from the comic books. But real quick reminder, my reverse flash ring for this week is still going on right now. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. So starting with number 5, meet Liza Warner. So most of you remember her as Tara from True Blood. I actually liked the character that she was playing on Arrow way better. I wasn't a huge fan of Tara on True Blood, but the character she's playing from the comics, this is really funny. Her name is Lady Cop. That's the actual name of the character. Now, they're just using the Liza name. She's not really doing this comic book persona. Arrow will do that sometimes, where they'll give a character a comic book name, but they'll have nothing to do with the character in the comics. So the way she exists in this Arrow narrative is she's a dirty cop that was part of the anti-vigilante task force that Quentin put together when Oliver came back in season 1. There was a lot of season 1 callbacks in this episode. So she's been in the city this whole time, just as things have gradually gone to shit. And now what they're doing is they're using their special skills, their special gear, their access as police officers to steal these drugs and make money off of them. And they did name drop Slam. That's the drug they're making on the island in the flashbacks. It's a combination of heroin and cocaine. As far as I know, Rutina isn't coming back again real soon. She might come back in the back half because, I mean, she's a relatively big actress and she did a great job. It's an interesting character, so she might come back the same way Huntress comes back every once in a while for special occasions. I know everybody's still wondering where Huntress is. They'll totally bring Jessica DeGao back when she's available and they have space for her in the narrative. I'd much rather see like Thea get an amazing story arc than see like 4 new comic book characters this season. Speaking of getting thrown at the wall, on to number 4. Mr. Terrific and Felicity try to figure out what the hell is going on with her mystery texts. If it wasn't clear, Mr. Terrific is working on a number of projects for Felicity. Most of what they were talking about in this episode, though, was relative to like the glitchy text that Felicity was getting. Now, obviously, we all know it's the Atom. We know it's Ray Palmer trying to contact her. But Felicity's unwilling to listen to that last message of his, so they haven't started to trace him down yet. They don't know exactly what's going on. So Mr. Terrific uses part of his comic book character to inspire Felicity to get over herself. Like he kind of slaps her to her senses. You should be happy to hear something from someone you love who has died. And Mr. Terrific's big call to action in the comics was his brother dying. But also in the world of cool technology, Oliver unveils the new Arrow Cave. Call it whatever you want, it's always going to be the Arrow Cave to me. But basically, it just got all the best new tech. It's just way bigger so they can accommodate a bigger team. You have your salmon ladder, you have space for a car, you have Felicity's computer gear. We're just slowly inching towards a Hall of Justice. Now, Legends of Tomorrow, they have a really interesting base of operations. It's going to be Rip Hunter's time ship. The name of that is the Wave Rider, which is a nice Easter egg for the comics, for Wave Rider, the character. I'll be talking a lot about Legends of Tomorrow next week whenever Hawkgirl debuts on The Flash. We can talk about it then. But the big twist is that Oliver is using Brother Blood's old campaign office and his old secret lair underneath his campaign office, which I think is kind of funny. Now it seems like the campaign is going to run for most of the season, and then in the back half he'll probably actually become mayor, so I guess they'll turn this office into something else after he becomes mayor. But it's not like they're going to move the new Arrow Cave, so they might just have Oliver continue to work out of that specific office. Also in the world of WTF reveals, Laurel takes Quentin to see Sarah for the first time. And he flips out like he's super happy, but then he learns that she has no soul. Damien Darhk's comment about her not having a soul kind of throws to what's going to be going on with Constantine next week. Next week will be when Constantine comes to fix her. I felt like the follow-up with Quentin, when he breaks down crying, he has like his Carol Pelletier look at the flowers moment with Sarah where he's like, you're not Sarah. I'm going to return you to your final rest. That would have worked a little bit better if the entire episode had been told from Quentin's perspective. That's kind of what they did with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this week. They told the entire story from Simmons' perspective. It was still a great Arrow moment, but I understand they have all these characters they have to service. You can't just drop all these storylines for a week just to tell this one storyline. Really as good as this moment was, I think his best scenes were with Stephen Amell. He and Oliver just having it out when Oliver learns about Damien Darhk. So that's what Stephen Amell was talking about when he said sometimes it's more fun to do quiet episodes than it is to do the really big stuff, the big action sequences. And finally, onto my number 1 WTF moment, Quentin saves the day. The city is not beyond redemption. but we have to start fixing it by fixing ourselves first, owning up to our own mistakes, leading to Oliver roasting the shit out of himself in his campaign speech. He spends like a solid 2 minutes making fun of all the stupid shit that he's done. So, as emotional as the episode is, as much of a roller coaster and as dark as things get, it's a really nice light way to end. And actually the montage that they cut to all the different characters, you see Damien Dark opening that mystery box. That's always such a great device. It's very manipulative. You've seen Pulp Fiction, you've seen Seven, you know all about the what's in the box mystery, but it's still so much fun when they do it. Based on the markings, it looks like it's something that's just tied to his abilities, whatever mystery deity that he's formed this pact with that's giving him this power. But let me know, what was your favorite moment in this episode? There were definitely a lot of setups for future payoffs, like you have Damien Dark with the mystery box, Sarah busting out of her chains, the Atom slowly trying to contact Felicity in his teeny tiny state. There were really only like a few things that threw me off in the episode. Thea, for instance, is going from 0 to bloodlust in no time flat, but she's able to be super casual and jokey when she's talking to her drug dealer here. It's almost like none of what happened last week happened to her at all, like she's completely forgotten about it. I'm still trying to decode the flashbacks. There isn't a really clear arc right now, but the fun thing is that when he takes her to that cave, that's the cave that he first went to when he landed on the island, when he got stranded on the island. That's why he says, don't eat the red berries, because in season 1, he ate red berries and he started hallucinating his father. So he's basically giving her all the advice that he learned the hard way, like he did all the wrong things. But I am really curious that they haven't revealed what her name is. I feel like it's something big from the comic books, otherwise there'd be no reason to withhold her name. Even on IMDb, she's still listed just as Worker. And just to circle back around the Damien Dark father stuff, father to father, I want to give you a bit of a WTF here. So Damien Dark has a daughter somewhere. Maybe he put her to final rest again. Maybe she still exists somewhere. I feel like that's going to be floating around for us to wonder about for the next couple of episodes. I used to think that was a good chance that he might be Felicity's father, but the producers, they came flat out before the episode aired and said, no, that's not the case. Felicity's father is another character who will be a villain and is super rich, who they'll use sometime this season. That's actually not a very big list. I would think Calculator would be a good chance. But whoever the villain is, it's not going to be Damien Dark. So I'm going to try and get a new trailer Q&A video out later this week that should post by Friday. But while you guys wait for that, you can click here for my Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. video that I posted earlier today if you haven't seen it yet. And you can click here for my Flash episode from last night. King Shark for the win. So amazing. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tomorrow.